Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. And today we got a few updates we got to go ahead and go over. I went ahead and bought myself a camera. So in a couple of days, once I get used to editing, filming, and all of that good stuff, I'm going to start posting with the camera. So the quality level is going to go up by 10 times at least. And so yeah, in today's video, we're going to go ahead and hit shoulders. But honestly speaking, in this video, we're going to have the workouts take the back burner. We're going to be talking this time. It's going to be another one of those talking sets. Especially the other day, I filmed a video. Well, just yesterday I filmed a video and I felt like the video was phenomenal. I had amazing talking points. I had almost like a real life epiphany, and come to find out, the fucking microphone wasn't recording the whole goddamn time. So that's L. But we can still go over those topics, because even though I wasn't able to record that, the shit I said was like fucking gold, man. And I want to go ahead and make sure that you guys get that. The topic of today's video is going to be to make sure that your ego doesn't get in the way. Your ego, pride, or anything like that gets in the way of you learning lessons, or just ruining relationships in your life due to your ego, due to your pride. All right, y'all, we'll go ahead and get into that later on in the video. I'll see you on the inside. Peace. All right, so we're starting off the first set. Well, I already did a set, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut that clip. So right now we're gonna be working on shoulders, and my first go-to workout is always front lateral raises with the barbell. Whew. Yeah, just worked on my back the other day. All right, now, since that was my second set, I go up every two weights whenever it comes to this workout. And I started off with 40s. So now, with the concept of progressive overload in mind, we're going to go ahead and hit 50s. And, hold on, yeah. But yeah, outside I was talking about how the concept the topic of today's video is actually going to be, don't let your ego get in the way of any life lessons or get in the way of relationships you have with people. Like for me, example, today, well, for me, this happened to me yesterday. I was talking to a friend, a coworker slash friend, and he told me something that in the moment actually fucking pissed me off. And it kind of felt like the guy was coming after me. And because I was like, dude, how are you going to call me that? You're two times worse in that same area. And for me, the old me would have took it as an insult. Ego would have kicked in, and I would have probably started to fight back against them, you know? And in the moment, I wasn't happy. But after like 2 hours of sitting with the information, I realized that, fuck, this guy's right. The shit that he's saying is not an attack. It's not him coming after me or anything like that. He's just holding a mirror up to me and telling me who I am. And I was like, fuck, bro, this motherfucker's right. That was probably the thing that made me the angriest. I'm like, dude, you're telling me something that's pissing me off, but you're actually right. And that pisses me even more off, because the whole concept of learning, it's basically you come across the same action that you have had happen to you in the past, but you act in a different way instead of acting the same way you have. That's actually what learning is. And in a way, I'm proud, because even though I was offended and I was pissed off, I sat with the information instead of knocking it off because I took it the wrong way. It was basically how he said it, but instead of getting upset about how he said it, I sat with the information and I reflected. I did some self actualizing, and I was like, damn, this motherfucker's right. And I didn't let my ego get in the way of me growing, because yesterday, in that moment, that honestly felt like growth, because the shit was uncomfortable and I didn't like how it made me look in a way, you know what I mean? And instead of getting upset and pissed off about it, which I was in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie to you, I took the information in, I saw how it could help me, and then I saw it actually did fucking help me. And that's why in today's video, I'm gonna hammer home the whole topic of, don't let your ego get in the way of fucking lessons. Because if you don't learn when it comes to you in that way, you're gonna learn the hard way. And the hard way could have been me 5 years down the line in a relationship, and the relationship gets fucked up because of that same habit that he pointed out. So yeah. But enough yapping, yeah. Let's go ahead and get to this next set. And also, for everyone at home, I ended up buying a camera, and the camera is gonna be fucking phenomenal when it comes to more angles. especially in this gym. I feel like the colors are very vibrant, but it makes my iPhone camera kind of act up, you know. But let's go ahead and get into front raises. All right, so I'm gonna take like 20 seconds off. Well, probably like a minute rest off camera, and then I'll bring y'all back in. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Now moving into the second set on the same 50s, but I feel like I've been having many epiphanies that I've been having in this month alone, yo. And honestly speaking, it all goes back to the same issue, which is in life, I've been forcing things for far too long instead of letting things come naturally. Well, not naturally. Of course, you got to do hard work and shit like that, but being accepting of things that come to you instead of trying to force them to be a certain kind of way. And for me, in the moment when he pointed this out to me, I was reverting to the old me 110%. I was like, what the fuck do you mean? And I saw myself start to get a little agitated because I responded like, "What the fuck do you mean?" And it took him back a little bit because I think he, in his head, he thought I'd be more receptive in the moment, but I wasn't. Like my ego flared up, and I was gonna force him to understand my point of view. But at the end of the day, that wasn't gonna fucking help me. Me forcing him to understand my point of view when I was in the wrong, even though I'm a master yapper, I'm able to talk about anything. I'm able to negotiate just about any kind of deal I want, and I could have probably brought him around to my level of thinking, but that wouldn't have helped me. You know, the part in self-actualizing and trying to be better day by day is you have to understand the times that you're wrong and be okay with that. Be okay with the fact that you don't know. Essentially, you don't know what you don't know, and if you keep walking around and acting like you know everything, how the fuck are you going to learn the shit you don't know? And for me, that's that moment in time when I sat there and I took that information in, honestly made me proud of myself, bro. Because in a way, I could have been pissed off, angry, hurt by everything he said, which I was in the beginning. But part of growth was that same thing happened to me, and I chose to learn from it instead of choosing to fight against it like I have in the past. And it made me proud about myself. All the work and dedication that I've been putting in is actually paying off because, as many of you know, if you're trying to lose weight, but you have an identity of being a heavier person, it's hard. It's hard to break that association to your identity. And for me, in that moment choosing to learn instead of fighting back, it showed to me that all the work has been paying off. I'm starting to see growth in many ways, not just financial, relationship, but in almost every way that I can grow. And it's honestly sometimes it's testing my spirituality, it's testing who I am as a man, who I am as a person, my morality, what I stand for and what I won't stand for. But this process of moving closer and closer to your goals, it's making me grow as a person, and I'm fucking with it. And honestly, anytime I learn something throughout my day, I'll make sure to make it a point to give it to anybody who watches the channel. That way they can get all the information that I'm learning, and hopefully you guys can grow along with me, because at the end of the day, if you're not growing, you're dying, man. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this next set. We're gonna do a second set on 50s. Let's keep this going, y'all. I'm probably gonna do one set on 60s and then move into something else. Oh, finish up the work. All right, John. Hopefully, y'all are feeling as good as I am. Look at that. Fucking shoulders are getting. Honestly speaking, for me not hitting shoulders for almost a span of like 2 3 years, they don't fucking look bad. They've been getting hit whenever I do chest, because in the past my routine has been chest back, arms, chest back, arms, bro. I could say arm shoulders, but I wasn't hitting no goddamn shoulder workouts. No front raises, side raises, none of that. So for me, the parts that are actually lacking is my shoulders and my legs. If you've noticed, I haven't done a single leg day, but I swear I've been hitting them. Just the past 3 times I've recorded a leg day video, every single time I forgot to record on the mic. So these are just mistakes I'm making as a beginner. But as I get more experience and as I move down the path of being a vlogger, YouTuber, person making content, essentially, it's gonna get a lot better, y'all. Just you wait. All right, I'm gonna have to cut this part out because I'm videos loading up. But yeah, and every single one of you who may have ruined a relationship in your past because of your ego, because of your inability to learn from your own fucking mistakes, drop that in the comments so that anybody else who's watching this channel can learn from your mistakes and my mistakes. Because in the past, I've ruined two really amazing relationships because of my ego, my inability to let go of my pride, me wanting to force things to be a certain kind of way, except instead of accepting them as they are. And when I tell you, I am never going to allow myself to fuck up in that kind of way ever again. And that's another reason why I'm making these videos. For all of those I have failed, all of those I have wronged, I'm doing better. I'm coming from, and honestly, in my point of view, I'm coming out of a bad 2 year stretch. And of course, I didn't do anything illegal or anything like that. I'm not a fucking vagrant, but I still fucked up. I still did wrong things, and I'm in a way ashamed of those things. So me making videos and helping out as many people as I can is my atonement. My, what is it called? My seven. You know how Hercules had to do those 7 labors? These are my labors to help as many people as I can get fit. And if you want to get fit and you need my help and you would like to be part of my channel, go ahead and subscribe, man. Let's go ahead and get into this next set. Aya. Saldırı. Oof. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and move into another set. I'll see you on the next workout. Peace. All right, so now moving into the next workout, we're just gonna be doing what is this? Dumbbell flies. And now, fuck this shit, bro. I'm gonna be a little bit vulnerable with y'all. Now, as many of y'all know, I was on day 100 something of a fucking cut. Let me tell y'all right now, that shit was fucking ass, bro. I didn't realize how much I didn't know about fucking losing weight. Because in my past, I've never lost weight. The only thing I've ever done is gain weight. Because keep in mind, out of high school, I was like 5'6", 5'7", 115 pounds. I was a small, like thin. And then over time, I wanted to gain weight. My goal was to get to 160, and I hit 165. I finally felt like I accomplished my dreams as far as my ideal fucking weight. And then as time rolls on, months and months go by of me being 165, I'm like, damn, your boy's starting to feel fat. I'm starting to feel like a fat bitch. And so I went on this whole journey of cutting. My whole goal was to get down to 140, you know? And 110 days and I lost 10 pounds. You're telling me, no, I was doing something wrong. And honestly speaking, about a month in, I was actually making sure I was in a deficit every single time. And then after I was getting deficit every single day for a month, I felt like, you know what, fuck this shit. I ain't got to track my calories. I can guesstimate it and I'll still be in the same path. And tell me why, like last week, I tracked my calories as I was eating when I was guesstimating it. I was damn near eating 2,500 calories, bro, and I was supposed to be at a $1,900 limit, $1,900 calorie limit, and I was eating 2,500 every single day. No wonder you ain't lose no weight. I'm surprised that I went down to 154. But right now, I weighed myself this morning, first thing in the morning after I took my morning shit, bro. 154. The goal is to lose another 15 pounds. I'm trying to get to one. Well, that'd be 139, but the goal is to get to 140, yo. And then after I get to a lean 140, I'm looking cut, looking right. I'm gonna bulk back up to 180. But this time we're gonna do it the right way. We're gonna do it with protein at your body weight, all your macros in check, and everything. Because the first time around, I took a fat L, y'all. Not even gonna hold you. But yeah, enough yapping. Let's get into this workout. We're gonna be doing 3 sets of 10 on dumbbell flies, going up in weight every 2 sets if we feel, if we feel good. The good part about dumbbell flies is actually you don't have to do them heavy. You can get strong on dumbbell flies with light weight. Right here, like the way I do it is my 2 sets are kind of like a warm-up set. I'm working on the front delt. Right now I'm working on the side delt. And the next workout, we're going to be doing cables to work on the back delts. And then we're going to work on compound. And usually that's the end of my shoulder day. Oh. Yeah. And also, something I talked about in yesterday's video that actually makes a lot of sense now is that the process of growth feels very uncomfortable. And like earlier when I was talking about that lesson I got from a friend, the process of learning that was actually very uncomfortable. I had to, because if you think about it, bro, the way you react to certain stimulus is your body's defense mechanism. And for me, the defense mechanism is to throw up a fucking ego. Like, oh, like I told you, he said this, it offended me. Now we get into fighting, arguing, debating, whatever. And that's how my whole mentality has been for the longest time. But so with me not fighting back, not pushing back against what he was saying no, that's not true because of these fucking reasons. I just sat there and I was like, fuck. All right, this feels very uncomfortable. It's pissing me off because your defense mechanisms are there to protect you from feeling bad, essentially. And for me, I had to sit there. No, I felt bad. No, what he's saying probably could not be true or it could be true. 50-50 chance at that point. It's with that mentality I had. And I had to let my guards down and take it all in. Like, huh, it does what he say have merit. And if it has a merit and it's true, I have to take it as serious and I have to break down my defense mechanisms in order to grow. Because if not, if I keep experiencing the same situations, reacting the same fucking way, I'm not learning. And if I'm not learning, I'm staying in the exact same position. And I don't know about y'all, but right now I'm in a process of growing in a tremendous way. And I don't want to be limited by anything, let alone my mentality, my physical health, nothing. I'm trying to make sure everything is dialed in from my fitness, my finances, my relationships, everything. It is sure it might be dissipating your focus on many things at once, but in reality, these are things you can work on simultaneously. So this is not something that you have to spend all day working on a single topic. You can work on everything. All right, y'all. So now we're getting into the next set. This is gonna be my second to last workout because honestly speaking, today is gonna be more of a fast-paced workout. It's not gonna be as drawn out because I feel like certain muscle groups, like your biceps and your shoulders, it's a little bit easier to train than chest and legs and things like that. You know. Plus, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm just not feeling it today. Energy feels burnt out because I've only ate one meal, so I'm only at about 400 calories for the whole fucking day. As you can see right now, it's nighttime. But yeah, all right, let's get straight into the workout and then we'll start yapping. Let the energy come back to you, boy. Ooh, sure. This one's way too low. Just to hide a little bit. Ooh. But yeah, today I'm not carved up enough, but we're still gonna push through because at the end of the day, I'm not working out for me, brother. I'm working out for you, for every one of y'all who are at home and you have a hard time motivating yourself. Because to me, this shit comes easy. This shit is like natural. But I watched a podcast of a guy talking about how he hadn't gone to the gym in 10 years, a whole fucking decade, just because of how nervous going to the gym made him feel. And to me, on the outside looking in, that looks like some pussy ass shit. But then I start looking at the reality of the situation, which is, huh, many of us might have these kind of issues. And if I take it and I try to brush it off so casually to say like, hey, that just grow the fuck up. It's not a big deal. It's actually disingenuous to those people who have those issues because sure, it's just like when if you're Hispanic, you get this reference, but If you tell your folks you're upset and they say ponte las pilas, bro, it's like telling somebody, hey, once they tell you I'm sad, just telling them no, just don't be sad. It's that simple. It's not that simple, y'all. And this is me talking to me. It's not that simple. For those of you who are ashamed of coming to the gym, they don't feel happy, they don't want to come alone, man, either pay for a trainer to come show you or come in a group. Try to meet people that are a little bit ahead of where you're at and get them to help you on your journey. Because I'm telling you, I've had so many people walk up to me, ask for help, and then come to find out I start training them for like 6 months. And honestly speaking, you just have to get used to asking for help. Because of the gym, and I can get that, because if you don't want to come to the gym, you might not have confidence in yourself and you might feel beat up. And that might be why you're overweight, you know? But simply telling somebody to get their shit together doesn't help them. Which what we need are actionable steps in order for you to get to going to the gym. The first thing you want to do is address what's in the way of you going to the gym. Is it not having a ride? You're upset about how you look? You're not happy with how you're dressed, or any of these kind of things? First, step one is address what's wrong with you. Why do you think you don't want to go to the gym, or what's preventing you from going to the gym? Once you sit there in that feeling and you address why you're not going, you make a list of 3 actionable steps that you can do in order to overcome that hesitation. I had a friend who didn't like going to the gym because they didn't have any gym clothes. So we went shopping together. We ended up getting her 3 outfits for the gym. And then from there, after getting her those 3 outfits, she was more confident to come with me. And honestly speaking, it could be something as simple as buying new fucking clothes. So the first thing you want to do is address what's keeping you from the gym, and then create 3 ways you can get around that problem. And a lot of the times, we need help from others. And that's why I'm here. If you have anything that's holding you back, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. And at the end of the video, in the future, I'll create a section at the end of the video where it's like, what would Carlos do? If you go ahead and send me things that are preventing you from going to the gym, I'll give you 3 to 5 actionable steps you can take in order to get around that. But enough yapping, y'all. Let's get into these sets. Like I told y'all, today, motherfucker is decarbed. I have no energy. But we will get this done either way. Oof. And with this one, we're doing 4 sets of 10. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the next 2 off camera because I do not have the energy or bandwidth to keep yapping. I swear, since I'm cutting off a little early, I'm going to record at the end of the video me sitting down at home just talking to you guys, because I still want you guys to get to know me on a personal level, because at the end of the day, the whole reason I'm doing this is to help as many people as I can. I'm doing this for you. So I'm going to be doing my best to try to help you out the best way that I can. After I eat something, I'll be a lot more talkative, y'all. I promise. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and move into the next sets. All right, John. This one right here is gonna be the last one. We're gonna go ahead and do shoulder presses. And honestly speaking, this is the one workout I fuck with the most because it's like a compound movement. So I'm able to move heavy ass weight. I'm gonna be pushing 200 on this one. But right now we're warming up with 60. I already did 1 set off camera. This is gonna be my first set on camera. Let's keep this going, y'all. Ooh, shut up. Dude, shut up. All right, let's move up to 110. And honestly speaking, one thing that I like about the camera and recording, I feel like the shit. Hold up. I feel like the shit actually makes you, like, recording yourself actually puts you in a mood where you're actually having to work out. You're not just sitting down and yapping or lollygagging around, because at the end of the day, the camera's holding you accountable. Like y'all can see today, it was a fucking shit shoulder day. For me, the energy's not there. I'm on 400 calories. That's like, I'm on like 40, maybe like 25 grams of carbs right now. And honestly speaking, I'm a fucking going through it. And, but I had the choice of not coming to the gym and just skipping it, but like I said, I want to create one piece of content per day. And yesterday I had a gym. I recorded a chest day, but the mic wasn't on the whole time, so I just said fuck it. I delete the whole thing, and we'll make today a new version of yesterday's video. And something I want to go over before we go into this next set is the feeling of sitting with the uncomfortable feeling of no, just sitting with the uncomfortable feeling of growing, because change does not come from you being in a comfortable position. Change comes because something has to break in order for you to either get worse or get better. And the process of change is grueling. Like, honestly speaking, like for me right now, cutting off, it's fucking change. And I'm telling you, I'm finna go through it. Like, I just know I am. But enough of that. Let's go into this next set. Oh, shit. Oh, yes, it is. All right, John. Fuck this shit. That's all I got for today. Um, honestly speaking, this video doesn't even demand a fucking pose now. So we're gonna do 30 minutes on cardio, and I'll see y'all after we're done. All right, y'all. Peace.